Strap in, pilots and tankers. In today's video, we dive into War Thunder, the legendary military MMO that blends tanks, planes, and now naval battles in one insane combat experience. Whether you're a veteran player or thinking about jumping in for the first time, I've got you covered. In the video, we are going to cover the current state of the game in 2025, the best nations and vehicles for each tier, tips for beginners and returning players, realistic versus arcade, and what you should play, and finally, my honest take on whether it's still worth your time in 2025. Drop a like if you enjoy this style video, and let me know what your faction is you're remaining right now. And don't forget to subscribe for more War Thunder content and updates every week. Yo, what's up TP fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be diving into one of the most intense, realistic war games out there. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about War Thunder. If you've ever wanted to fly, drive, or blow stuff up in a beautifully detailed World War and modern military vehicles, this game is the game for you. So first, let's cover what is War Thunder? War Thunder is a free-to-play military simulator with a ridiculous amount of depth. Planes, tanks, helicopters, naval ships, all in the same game. Sometimes even on the same map. You can choose from multiple nations, grind through tech trees, and pick your playstyle. Whether you're an air ace, tank commander, or a ship captain. War Thunder is basically the ultimate military sandbox. It's a free-to-play MMO combat sim that throws you into battles across land, air, and sea, using historically accurate vehicles from World War II all the way to modern-day tech. We're talking tanks, fighter jets, bombers, helicopters, ships, all with detailed damage models, realistic physics, and tactical gameplay. But it's not just about graphics or explosions. This game's got depth. Each nation has its own tech trees with vehicles that feel and perform completely different from the last. You're not just unlocking a better tank or a new plane. You're choosing a whole new playstyle. And when you learn how to use the strengths of your vehicles, that's when it clicks. Now, out of all the options, tanks, ships, helicopters, my personal favorite is its air battles. 100%. There's nothing like it. The moment you throttle up, climb into the clouds, and spot an enemy plane on the horizon, it's pure adrenaline. Air battles, especially in realistic mode, are this crazy mix of speed, strategy, and positioning. It's like a high-speed chess match in the sky. You've got to think about energy, altitude, speed, all while trying to outmaneuver someone who's probably trying to get on your six or kill you from above. And when you land that perfect dive and rip through a target or pull out at the last second, it's chef's kiss. Plus, the variety is insane. You can start with early biplanes, work your way up to World War II dogfighters like the Spitfire or BF-109, and eventually hit top-tier jets like the F-16, MiG-29, or Gripen. And each one handles differently, has its own learning curve, but that's what keeps it fresh. So yeah, War Thunder gives you options, but for me, the sky is where it's at. And speaking of that, let's talk about where the game stands right now in 2025. The good, the bad, and what you need to know before diving in. All right, now that we've covered what War Thunder is, let's talk about where it's at. Because 2025 War Thunder isn't exactly the same beast it was a few years ago. First off, Gaijin has definitely kept the content flowing. We've seen a ton of new vehicles, especially at the top tiers. Modern jets like the F-16C, Block 50, or MiG-29S MT and Gripen C are all here now, and they've even started introducing more modern ground vehicles with complex fire control systems and thermals that feel straight out of an Arma sim. And I'll give credit where it's due. The level of detail on these vehicles, still unmatched. You can literally see the rivets on your wing, track how your ammo rack gets hit, or blow off someone's barrel in a tank fight. That's the level of realism that keeps it super immersive. But we've also got to talk about the elephant in the room, monetization and the grind. The economy in War Thunder has always been kind of brutal, but in 2025, it's gotten even tougher in some areas. Repair costs, SL or Silver Lion, gains, premium vehicle power creep, it's all stuff players are still very vocal about. Now, to Gaijin's credit, after last year's community backslash, they did make some adjustments. They tweaked RP and SL rewards, added more transparency around the economy, and even held polls where players could vote on changes. But the grind still feels real, especially if you're not running premium, time, or vehicles. Matchmaking, it's hit or miss. Sometimes you get balanced, exciting matches. Other times, you're up tiered 2 full BRs and your entire team evaporates in 2 minutes, especially in Air RB. There are days where it feels like one team is just top tier F-16s and the others are flying bricks. It's also worth mentioning some nations feel way more fleshed out than others. The US, Russia, and Germany have the deepest rosters by far, while newer trees like Israel or China are still catching up in terms of diversity and lineup strength. Performance-wise, the game's in a solid place. The new engine tweaks have made it smoother, even on mid-range systems. Load times are better, and the new lighting system makes the maps look amazing, especially if you're flying at sunset or during storms. Just be ready for the occasional desync or crash here and there. It's by no means perfect. So where does that leave us? Honestly, if you're into military sims and don't mind a grind, War Thunder in 2025 is still one of the most rewarding experiences out there. It can be frustrating, sure, but when you pull off a perfect bombing run or dogfight and survive with a shredded wing, you feel like a legend. Now, if you're thinking about jumping in or coming back, let's break down some of the best nations and vehicles to get you started or back on track. Let's start with beginner-friendly picks. The nations that give you a smooth ride from low tier to top tier and won't leave you broke or rage quitting. The USA. America is a classic starting point. Great planes, solid tanks, and a deep tech tree across all modes. The early planes like the P-40 and F-6F are fast, hit hard, and feel forgiving. On the ground side, you've got Shermans, Hellcats, and eventually Abrams tanks that dominate in mobility and firepower. Germany. If you want precision and power, go with Germany. Early war BF-109s and FW-190s are beasts in Air RB. Their tanks, like the Panther and Tiger, are iconic and punch hard. Just be aware that at mid-tier, you'll face some rough up-tiers, but Germany rewards smart, aggressive play. USSR. The Soviets are a fan favorite for a reason. Amazing turn fighting planes like the Yak series and ridiculously good tanks, the T-34 lineup is still one of the best grinds in the game. Also, their top tier jets are meta right now, especially the MiG-29 variants. Underrated or niche picks. Now, if you're looking to be different or you've already played the big three, here are some fun and underrated nations to check out. Sweden. Super fun air tree with SAAB jets that are fast, sleek, and underrated. Their tanks are also really good in ambush tactics, compact, fast, and they hit hard. They're not beginner friendly, but worth it if you want something unique. Italy. Italy's air tree is surprisingly good, especially at mid tiers, and their ground forces are weird. You'll get a mix of German, American, and Italian vehicles. It's a bit of a Frankenstein tech tree, but if you like variety, it's fun. Israel. If you're a returning player and you want to skip straight to post-World War II action, Israel might be your jam. It starts at a higher BR, so no biplanes here. You'll jump right into Cold War and modern vehicles. But beware, the early grind is rough without premiums. Top recommendations by playstyle. If you love air combat, USSR for turn fighters, Germany for energy fighting, US for strong multi-role and jets, Sweden for sleek and high-tech. If you want to dominate in tanks, Germany for armor and long guns, USSR for all-around brawlers, USA for fast mobile tactics, and France for wheeled vehicles and memes. Seriously. If you're good for naval battles, USA and Japan are currently the most fleshed out. Germany is decent too, but it's still the least played mode overall, so matchmaking can be slow. Pro tip: don't rush. No matter what you choose, don't rush the grind. Play around at different BRs, unlock full lineups, and actually learn the vehicles. Trust me, having a full lineup at 4.0 is way more fun and more useful than struggling at 6.7 with a single tank and a backup. Alright, so now you've got some nation ideas, but what mode should you actually be playing? Arcade, realistic, simulator? Let's break down the differences and figure out what's right for your playstyle. Alright, so you picked a nation, maybe even a lineup, but now you're hit with the next question. What mode do I play? War Thunder has 3 main game modes, and each one plays like a completely different game. No joke. Arcade battles. First up, arcade. This is the fast, accessible mode where you just jump in, shoot stuff, and have a good time. Planes have simplified flight physics, ground vehicles get aiming assists, spotting is automatic, you'll see red name tags over enemies, repair times are fast, and reloads happen in combat. Arcade is awesome for learning the basics, how your tank or plane handles, where to shoot enemies, how to use cover or angles, and honestly, it's just fun. Quick, chaotic, and full of action. That said, it's not super realistic. Dogfights turn into spinning death balls, tanks zip around faster than they should, and you'll sometimes get sniped from the other side of the map by someone who spotted you through a bush 30 seconds ago. It's best for fast-paced, fun, casual play learning new vehicles. Realistic battles. Then there's realistic, my personal favorite, especially for air battles. Physics and controls are more realistic, no enemy name tags or spotting unless you see them. You have to return to base to reload and repair. Friendly fire is on, so watch those bombs and squad buddies. In air RB, this is where War Thunder shines. You're managing your energy, climbing for altitude, tracking enemies, visually, and fighting with real tactics. It's slower than arcade, but way more rewarding when you pull off a clean kill. In ground RB, you'll be sneaking through terrain, scouting enemies, and making your shots count, because dying means waiting to respawn, and your SL balance might not thank you for reckless plays. If you want that balance between fun and realism, realistic is where it's at. It's best for immersive battles, strategic play, that sweet combat sim feel. Simulator battles. Then we've got simulator battles, and this mode is not for the faint of heart. Full cockpit view, only in air, no HUD, no spotting, no markers. Realistic controls and flight model, you'll need a joystick or HOTAS to really thrive. Friendly fire and misidentification are common. In sim, you're practically role-playing as a pilot or tank commander. You're scanning the skies with your eyes, managing instruments, and you might go minutes without seeing anyone, only to get down from nowhere. It's immersive, but the learning curve is steep. It's great for dedicated simmers, but I wouldn't recommend it as your first stop unless you've already into DCS level gameplay. It's best for hardcore realism fans, VR users, joystick players, or masochists. Which should you play? So here's the real talk. Start in arcade to learn the ropes, then graduate to realistic when you're ready, especially for air battles. Realistic is where the magic happens. You feel the difference in every dogfight. Every move matters. You're not just spamming maneuvers, you're flying like a predator. If you ever want a challenge, go ahead and dip your toes into Sims, but bring patience and possibly a tutorial video. or 2. Now that you've got a handle on the game modes, let me hit you with some actual tips that'll save you from rookie mistakes. Trust me, I've been there. Let's talk about what I wish I knew when I started. Alright, so let's wrap this up with the part I wish someone told me when I first got into War Thunder. Here are some tips that'll save you time, frustration, and possibly your sanity. Don't rush the grind. Everyone wants to get to the big toys, the F-16s, the top tier tanks, the fancy jets, but if you rush with no experience or crew skills, you're gonna suffer. Trust me. Focus on building full lineups at each tier. Play multiple vehicles in a match to maximize gains. Learn the meta of each BR bracket instead of skipping ahead. Grinding smart beats grinding fast, and honestly, the mid tiers are some of the most fun in the game. Tip 2. Manage your SL, or Silver Lions, like a pro. War Thunder doesn't warn you, but SL is your real currency. You'll earn research points quickly, but if you burn all your SL on new vehicles without crew training, modules, or backups, you'll be broke fast. Don't buy every vehicle just because it's unlocked. Prioritize vehicles you actually want to play. Use boosters wisely, especially SL ones during events. Also turn on automatic vehicle repairs if you got SL to spare, but if you're low, turn it off and repair manually between matches. Tip number 3, air combat equals energy management. In air battles, it's not about who turns the fastest, it's about who controls the energy. Climb at the start of the match, yes, even if your team dives. Don't dogfight into planes for boom and zoom like FW-190s or P-47s. Use speed and altitude to pick your fights, and not panic and turn every time you're shot at. Stay fast, stay high, and choose when to engage. That's how you go from cannon fodder to ace. Tip number 4, crew skills matter a lot. You could be the best pilot in the world, but if your crew can't spot enemies, reload fast, or survive hits, you're flying with a handicap. Invest in keen vision, G tolerance, and reload speed early. For tanks, prioritize weapon reloading, driving skill, and targeting. Level up crew slots evenly. Don't put all your points into just one guy. Crew upgrades are passive but huge. They literally make your vehicle perform better without touching a button. Tip number 5, don't sleep on events or daily tasks. Events in War Thunder can be grindy, but they're also the fastest way to earn vehicles, boosters, and SL. Even logging in daily gives rewards. Do your dailies and specials when you can, they stack up. Seasonal events like summer and winter ops can give you premium vehicles if you commit. And sometimes, you don't even need to win to make progress, just participating counts, so play smart, not stressed. Bonus tip, watch and learn. Watch replays, watch kill cams, watch YouTubers who fly the vehicles you like. One thing I learned early, seeing how someone else plays your plane can teach you more in 5 minutes than hours of trial and error. Final thoughts. War Thunder can feel like a mountain at first, but once you start learning the system and the physics and you start winning dogfights because you outplayed someone, that's where the game gets hooked in. So yeah, take your time, fly smart, and don't be afraid to crash and burn a few times. Every ace pilot started as a rookie. War Thunder in 2025 is still a blast if you enjoy slow-paced, tactical gameplay. It's not perfect, but when it works, it really hits. Let me know if you want a part 2 going deeper into nations, top tier, or even naval battles. If you found any of that helpful or you are just getting started, drop a comment with your favorite nation or vehicle, or let me know what you're struggling with. I've got more guides, dogfighting tips, and maybe some full match breakdowns coming up. You don't want to miss it. See you in the next one. Tech G Prime Z, out.